Welcome to Timoteo TV, and this is the week 6 edition, and this is Buddy Timoteo, your host.
So, okay, you just say I'm Henry.
And we're going to start off with, this is Henry, Kasim, David, and Big Sean.
That was Henry. This is how you remember me from last week. Oh, my ribs. All right, well, back to the game here real quick, guys.
Okay.
My bad, Henry. It happens to everyone. Everyone gets hurt. We got Pac-9 was the only undefeated team left. Yep. Lost to the Jags in a controversial kind of thing a little bit. So it seems like the Pac-9 were defending at the last drive of the Jags' last score. Seems like they thought it was 4th down when they blitzed and actually stopping them from scoring, and actually would have had the opportunity to go down the field to tie the game. Seems like the referees might have messed up with the count and gave the Jags an additional down in that crucial spot. So, you know, one thing, if that's exactly what happened, I didn't get to look at the film to kind of count or whatever, but if that happened, I got to give the Pac-9 credit. I didn't hear too much crying over it, you know what I mean? Like, they really didn't care. You know, they're on the next week. I'm sure they were disappointed and upset if that's what happened, but it kind of killed their chance to kind of come back and score at the end. So if they would have scored at the end, they only lost by 6. No, I'm sorry. They lost by 8 points. Right. It looks like here. So they could have took the lead. They would have only been down by 2 points and could have took the lead and won at the end. But they didn't get that opportunity to do it. And then the Cardinals, they played this last week against who did they lose to this week? Was it
Texans?
No, Texans. Yeah, 45-7 this past week. I know the Cards. Nate got hurt in this game. A couple injuries, whatever. A lot of blood, a little bit. I don't know if that's the Texans doing that or just kind of plays, whatever. But they're still fighting. They're still going out there, and there's no one to kind of sleep on. But it's kind of like you have a David and Goliath kind of matchup here, even with the Pac-9's injuries. They're coming for blood after coming after this loss. So I guess let's talk about who stood out, who kind of stepped up. Pac-9 last week, they didn't have Bello, they didn't have Zay, they didn't have Zion, they didn't have Paul. I'm not sure if they were missing anyone else, but other guys definitely stepped up, and I think they deserve their credit. Xavier, he had 7 catches this past week, 3 tackles. Little Ed, Bello's girlfriend's little brother, he had 4 catches this week, 5 tackles, and 3 sacks. Marcus, number 2 Marcus, had 9.
Number 67.
His rank.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. He had 9 catches, 2 touchdowns, 10 tackles, and a sack. So probably he had 11 tackles.
He's a 2?
Yeah, he's a 2. Ryan had another 2 touchdown passes this week, and Eddie Velez 7 tackles. So all these guys had to play kind of out of position. Yeah. Give Coach Dave and the staff over their credit for giving the Jags a big fight. Now, it's notable to say too that the Jags were without their starting quarterback for reasons. Right, yeah. Jay did do a good job, though. Phenomenal. He threw 5 touchdown passes. And I believe the Pac-9 might have had the lead early. He might have came back or whatever. But, yeah, so let's kind of talk about this game a little bit, guys. And, Sean, why don't you tell us a little bit, like, kind of going in, how do you prepare your team when you're going against someone that you know overmatches you?
Well, I mean, the thing is you have to limit your mistakes, right? Like, if you go in and position by position, they're better than you. I mean, first off, you have to be honest with yourself, right? And that doesn't mean that you can't win the game, and that doesn't mean that you can't put up a fight. But if you go into the matchup knowing they're better, then you need to make sure you limit the mistakes. I mean, that's the only way that you're going to give yourself a chance to win the game. Mm-hmm.
Weirdo. Listen, I'm not your coach. No, that's true. I mean, so you got to kind of come into the mindset that you're coming, to battle. And I can kind of talk from a team. I would be most nervous against teams that I knew I should beat. Yeah. Because
you think you have nothing to lose.
Right.
You go in and you don't put your best effort forward.
Right, because you think you sleepwalk through this game. I think that's what happened to the Steelers a little bit this past week. And it's happened to me too. And then it's like you don't expect to be in a fight, and you give these guys momentum, and now they think they can ball with you. Now it's a close game. Balls start bouncing. You start panicking, and now you're in a battle when, you should have won the game by 2 touchdowns or more. I guess, Sean, you could kind of give us a little tip too. How tough is it to continue to motivate your team, right? You know, you have one win, but it's like the season's far from over, right?
Yeah.
And you see the potential, and you can see the growth. But how do you kind of keep them, all your players, in it? You know what I mean?
I think the balance at the bottom of the league this year is easier to stay motivated, knowing that even with a win, you still control your own destiny, right? I mean, you have 3 weeks to still put something together and get yourself into the playoffs. And so it's important that you just kind of continue to deliver that message, drive that message home, is that, you know, even after a couple tough losses, you know, you still have an opportunity to do something special.
Right, yeah. I mean, so Cardinals, you guys hear it, man. You guys are far from out of it, even though you guys only got one win. That was a huge win that you guys turned around your season, and it's, you know, you got a tough matchup here, but it's any given weekend. If anybody knows that, it's Cornell. Who upsetted some of the greatest of all time. So I guess, guys, let's talk a little bit about I guess your player. Who's the player to kind of watch out for, and what do you think the score is going to be? Dave. Ryan. So what about Ryan has impressed you so far?
That he stepped up to play quarterback.
Right, it's definitely not easy, huh?
Yeah, but Pac-9.
You on medicine or something, boy? You just like some excitement, yeah. Pac-9 what?
Pac-9 52 to 40. 52
to 40. My man gets straight A's in school. All right, go ahead, Henry. What you got?
I think the player that you need to watch out for.
With Henry thinking, boy. Go ahead.
Okay, I think the player you need to watch out for is Marcus, because he's really not a 1. I mean, not a 2. And everybody needs to know that he's a 1. Gotcha. And he's going to have 6 touchdowns today.
Marcus is going to have 6 touchdowns.
Today as in Saturday.
Gotcha. You're speaking into existence.
And the score is going to be... Who do they play?
Pac-9 and the Cardinals.
Oh my God. It's going to be 74-12.
What school do you go to, Henry?
I dropped out.
Shout out to Kensington. All right, here we go. Let's go. So this is a 11 o'clock game. Tim, for you guys that don't know, this is 11 o'clock game, early game. Who you got and who's your player to watch out for?
Player to watch out for is Zion. He the best running back in his league. And my score will be Pac-9, 183.
Okay.
Cardinals 6.
If I was Cornell, I'd punch you in the face.
Is Nate playing this week? Or they say he's under concussion protocol?
He's under concussion. We got to make sure he's cleared. I'm not sure if he had a concussion or not. Here we go. Shit's nasty. What do you got, man?
So, first, before I give my player to watch, is Zay back from his boo-boo?
I'm not sure.
Okay. He told me that he's not playing this week because he know they're gonna win by a lot.
Okay, and why do you keep talking like that?
So my player to watch is Pelo.
Gotcha.
Because even for the sideline, he makes an impact in the game.
That's definitely true, though.
Yeah.
Well, how many touchdowns is Pelo gonna run for this week?
But this game is at 9 o'clock. Is Pelo gonna wake up?
It's 11 o'clock.
I mean 11 o'clock. Is Pelo gonna wake up?
Probably not.
Probably
not. All right.
Pelo, show me the ball.
Oh, poor Pelo.
Yeah, I listen. I'd love to see the Cards put up a fight and find a way to upset. But I'm gonna put my money on the Pac-9 to open it up. I don't have to score, but a lot to a little.
Gotcha. I guess me in this game, I never count anyone out, and then with the injuries that these guys are suffering from, I'm not sure who's going to exactly be there. And with it being an 11 o'clock game, I know sometimes kids don't wake up on time. But I think the Pac-9 are favorite, and I think they should be able to pull this one off. I think the guy for me to watch out for is what is the kid's name who had that one-handed catch?
Oh, I know you're talking. Tone.
Antonio.
His worst nightmare for Allen. He started over him. Tone started over him.
Right. Quarterback Tone. He doesn't get a lot of catches, but whenever he gets his hands on, he kind of makes the best of the opportunity. Had a pretty good catch. So watch out.
And he had that tip touchdown in the back of the end zone.
Right.
Reminds me of myself.
He wasn't crying.
Yeah, he wasn't crying.
But yeah. So guys, come check it out. 11 o'clock game. I know the point spread is huge, but it's any given Saturday. Don't count the Cards out as they're fighting to make the playoffs, and the Pac-9 are looking to recover from their last loss. See you guys out there.